Hey everybody, it's Norm and Will back another episode of Behind the Garage Door. Today we're head back over to Lakeland to meet up with a guy named Ted who's got a super sweet classic and a really cool daily driver. I figure if we're gonna go see a beautiful Corvette, we should take a beautiful Corvette. All right, so we made it out to Lakeland to Ted's house. Ted, beautiful home, beautiful neighborhood, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Great. We've had so many great folks from Lakeland share their cars and their beautiful homes with us, and you're next on the list, and we really appreciate
Well, thank you. Welcome to Lakeland.
Welcome back to Lakeland, absolutely. So without further ado, Ted, I'm really excited to see what's inside your garage, so let's take a look and see what's behind Ted's garage door. Ted, all right, we've got a Corvette and we've got an El Camino. First, what year is the Corvette?
1958.
1958, and that's a fuelie car as well?
It's not a fuelie car, it's a 283.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
cool. But I want to talk about that one second. Actually, I want to get to the El Camino first. Now, when it was sitting in the garage, I thought it was black, and it clearly is not.
Yeah.
What color is that? Okay, tell me everything about the El Camino.
That's
here.
maroon and silver, and that's the original color that it was back in 1986.
86 El Camino.
Yeah. And I bought it about 6 years ago, had some work done. I replaced the quarters on both sides in the back. And the interior is pretty much all original. Motor's original. It's a 305 SS. And of course, back in the 86 days, the SS wasn't really a performance thing. It was more of an interior thing.
And sticker thing on the side.
Yeah, and a sticker thing. It's got the velour interior. I've done it all. Everything works on the inside. Air conditioning. It's ice cold air. I love the car. It's my daily driver, actually.
Is it really? You
Yes.
know, I looked around when your wife pulled up. I saw her daily, and I'm looking, and I'm like, well, he either has it hidden somewhere else or actually dailies these cars. So you daily that El Camino.
It is my daily driver.
That
yes.
is awesome. I love that.
Yep, I love it. It's great. Actually, the radio didn't work when I had bought the car, and I had sent it away and had that all redone. So that's the original radio that's in it. It's an 86 AM FM stereo cassette. So I was telling a younger person about that, and they go, cassette? What's a cassette? They had no idea what a cassette was.
Actually, in my Camaro that I still have back from high school, it still has a cassette player in it too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. Need to work on that.
I got a guy I can refer you.
You got a guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, Ted, so you say you've had the El Camino for about 6 years. Where did you find it?
I told my wife, I said, I'd really like to get an El Camino. And I said, if I had my choice, I really would like a maroon and silver one. So a friend of mine had just taken another job. He was going to be a national sales manager and traveling around. So I said, hey, if you see an El Camino for sale, I said, let me know. Well, he called me about 2 months later and he said, Ted, I found one. I said, you really? Where? He goes, right here in Lakeland.
Oh, my goodness.
I go, no. Well, I've worked at Grasslands Golf and Country Club for a number of years, and lo and behold, it was a member of Grasslands Golf and Country Club. Matt Wade, they live over, he's got a business over on Drainfield Road.
Okay.
And went over there and looked at it and struck a deal with him and bought it. So I was just thrilled to death to get it.
Years ago, I had an 87 Super Sport Monte Carlo, which is pretty much the same thing.
G-body.
G-body,
Yep.
and it had the velour interior in it
Yep.
as well. So it's just like the truck version of the Monte Carlo, and I absolutely
Yep.
love them. That's
Yep.
such a great example, too.
It's a lot of fun. I love the car. It's a lot of fun.
Excellent.
I was pulling out of Lowe's the other day. Actually, I went in to do an errand. I came out, and underneath my windshield, I saw this handwritten note.
You want to sell your...
And it said, man, you have a beautiful car. And then they had we and a big heart, it.
Yes, that's great. That always feels, especially when it's your daily.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's like if you think this was nice, you should see my other car.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's switch over to the Corvette. What color is that?
They call that Signet Red. That's the original color it was in 58. That's not the original paint, but
Okay.
they call it Signet Red and Snowcrest White. Now, it's really more of a tangerine than anything.
Well, we have a 57 Fuelie car at the dealership right now, and they call it Venetian Red.
Venetian Red. It's
But-
more of a red.
It's actually kind of an orange red.
Is it?
Yeah, it's again, people are like, that's orange. No, it's red. No, it's
Yeah.
orange. No, it's red. So how long have you had that? Where'd you find it?
That right there is the first car I ever bought when I was 17 years old.
You are kidding me.
Yeah.
You've had that car since you were 17.
I bought it in 1972, and when I bought it, it was a turquoise blue. Somebody had changed the color in it.
But that's the original color.
That's the original color, and I had it painted in 79, so that's a 79 paint job
Wow.
on there. And when I bought it, as I say, they did a bad job, not a great job painting it, because the red was coming through the backside of the odometer. The interior was, the seats were all ripped and torn. The rug in it was black and white and all ripped. Nothing on the door panels. The dash had been spray painted black and was all dry rotted.
Yeah.
So I have been working on it. It has been a project in progress for 50 years.
50 years?
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So have you had to gone through it entirely front to stem to stern, back, rebuilt the engine?
Well,
obviously you did a bunch of the interior.
Yeah, when I bought the car, the motor had just been completely gone through.
That's good.
With oversized pistons, had a full race cam in it, and it was just a regular Rochester carburetor. But it really ran, and it ran well.
Nice.
Since that time, I've had it done, the motor done three times. The valve guides and seals dried out and started puffing smoke. I said, you can't drive a Corvette puffing smoke.
Nope.
So I had that done, and I had the full race cam pulled out and put a 350 cam in it.
Okay.
And it's still got the oversized pistons, 350 cam, and it's got an Edelbrock high-rise manifold with a 650 Holly. But when I bought the car in 72, the motor had just been completely done, and the bill on the motor was $630 back in 72.
That's a bunch of money.
And I paid $900 for the car when I bought it.
So you got a $600 engine and a $300 car.
Right.
Nice. Nice. I like those
Yeah.
numbers. Now, is that the original block and everything to
No,
the car?
it's not the original block.
it's not a numbers matching
No,
car.
it's not a
Okay.
numbers matching car. And also, when I bought it, it had big wide L60s on the back.
Oh,
It
yeah,
never had the original hubcaps on it. 58, when they came out, this is car number 3,402.
Okay.
And in 58, they made 9,168 of them.
Okay.
And they called it the personality car. This was the first year of the Corvette where they started to put a lot of chrome on it.
Yep.
When I bought the car, the guy in the cardboard box, he had the chrome strips going down the trunk. He goes, "You want these?" I go, "Yeah, I want them."
Yeah.
Today they're like $2,000
Oh,
for
yeah.
the pair.
It's
you know?
amazing the cost to restore one of these cars now.
Yeah,
Nowadays.
mechanically it's very, very sound. The body has, I think it's around 95,000 on it. The motor's probably got the motor that's in it, probably about 5,000 miles. It's just fun. We like it.
Is that a removable hardtop?
Yes.
A removable hardtop. Now, I have you're a tall guy like I am. The 57 Corvette that we have at the dealership right now, with the same style top on it, I can get in. I can bend myself in half and go like this to get underneath. And that's a 4-speed car, right?
That's a 4-speed, yes.
I can't get my knee to clear the dash to put my foot on the clutch. So how do you drive this car?
I have to wear certain shoes. As a big guy, you have big feet.
Yes.
I can't drive the car with only a certain pair of shoes because the heel or the sole is so thick. I can't get up to work the clutch either. So I have to use certain shoes when I'm driving the car to be able to get it and work it.
That's the only explanation, because I can get my foot to the clutch, but I can't. My knee won't. I can get it pushed down, but I can't release the clutch because my knee hits the dash.
Right. The other thing is it came originally with a 17-inch steering wheel.
Okay.
I could not get in the car
You have to bend
with
your leg
my
in half.
legs
Yeah.
to get in there.
Yeah.
That's a 15-inch all-leather wheel that I put on there.
That's smart.
Which makes it much easier.
Smart.
It's the original design kind of a thing with the holes and the tri area, and it rides great. I just put brand new tires on it all the way around.
Beautiful.
Went to the big wide classic tires. Those are 2 and 11/16-inch white walls.
Got it.
That's the original width that they came with back in '58. It's just fun. It's not a perfect car, but it is a car that we enjoy. We love it. We get in it and we drive it.
Dinner.
We let our hair blow in it, and it's just fun.
Ted, I don't want to ignore the backdrop that we've had this entire time. This beautiful Harley Davidson. One more thing in your garage. Tell me briefly about this.
This is a 2006 Harley Davidson Road King Classic.
Black and chrome.
With laced up wheels, about 23,000 miles on it. And actually, my wife has been on the back with just about every single mile of that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So you've been around motorcycles and ridden motorcycles for many, many years.
A long time, yeah.
How did you start?
Actually, I started with a mini bike back years ago. A friend of mine used to do a lot of trail riding. He got me into hare scrambles.
Okay.
And he was going to Pennsylvania on a hare scramble ride, and he said, "Would you like to go?" And I said, "Yeah." So I went down with him. He trailered my bike down. At the time, I had a 175 Enduro, Yamaha Enduro. And we went to Pennsylvania and did the hare scramble, and I ended up winning the race.
Oh.
So I came back home to Central New York, Sherburne, and entered another hare scrambles over in South Edmonston, New York. It's the home of the 250 United States Grand Prix of Motocross. It's the premier event to be held in the United States. Anyway, I was in a hare scramble there, and I won that. So I thought, I like this motorcycle business.
Motocross thing.
So at the time, I sold my Enduro in the local motorcycle shop there in town, Burt Matat. I started buying racing bikes the next year and got into motocross. I started racing motocross in '72, and in 1975, I won the 250 cc class in Central New York.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you. And then once I won the 250 class, then I thought, well, I can ride more than one event at a race. So I started riding, I bought a second racing bike. So I had a 250 and an open bike. And that's when my body just started falling apart, and it was like way too much for me. But it was a lot of fun. It was such a great part of my life growing up. I still have a lot of great friends that are in the sport.
So you started riding bikes and bought the Vette in the same year.
Yes.
'72.
Yes.
That was a busy year for you.
Yeah. Yep.
That's super cool.
Yep.
So when did you stop riding motocross? Maybe get into the street bikes. And what else have you done since then? Well,
a number of years ago, actually 13 years ago, my wife and I started a bicycle ministry.
Okay.
It's called the Pedal Power Bicycle Ministry. We're at First Presbyterian Church, and what we do is we collect used bicycles and we restore them to good, safe working order and give them away for free to children and adults in need.
That is beautiful. Wow, and I just thought maybe you're into, collecting bicycles and stuff because they're all over the place as I look around here. So you've been doing that for 13 years?
13 years,
So do you work on the bikes to get them back to good working order? Do you have people, they're volunteers?
We have volunteers from Florida Southern College. We have volunteers from Florida Polytechnical Institute. We have other members of the bicycling community. All of the bicycle shops in the city of Lakeland support us. There's Road and Trails, there's Leroy's Bike Shop, there's Bent's Bicycle Shop,
wow.
David's World of Cycle. They all support us because they do a different level of biking than we do. We support those that can't afford a bike or those that have fallen on hard times, and we give them away for free.
Like these bikes up here are obviously very expensive.
These are my bikes.
Yeah, those are very. So are you into? What is that style of biking called?
Cycling.
Cycling.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a cyclist as well.
Do you got the shirts and the outfit?
I do. I do.
Bright colors and all that.
Yes, I do, actually. Yeah.
That's fantastic. You're doing wonderful, wonderful work.
Thank
Ted.
you.
Thank you so much for for sharing your stories and sharing your ministry and sharing your motorcycle and your cars and your bicycles and everything else. This has been a pleasure.
My pleasure, Norm. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Heck yeah, Ted. We're going to head back to the dealership and wrap it up. Thank you so much, Ted, for inviting us out to your house, sharing that cool Corvette and that sweet El Camino daily driver, and also the really neat work you're doing with your bicycle ministry. If you want more information about that, we'll put a link below. Make sure you're back here next Thursday for another episode of Behind the Garage Door.